Okay, so in Hong Kong here, it's literary festival time. So I thought it'd be good to kind of pick out some of the things I think would be really, or some of the writers I think would be really interesting to see this year. And on the 2nd of November, Saturday, 2nd November, at the Fringe Club, 12 to 1, is Evie Wilde. Evie Wilde is a young British novelist. She was listed in the Granters top 20 young British novelists, and I think a really interesting voice. I heard her speak in London last year, and that would be one to go and see, I think. Personally, there's Dinao Mengistu, who's a Ethiopian or Ethiopian American writer, and I lived in that part of the world for a couple of years, so that I think is going to be very interesting as well. And he was in the coveted list of New York's the New Yorker's 20 under 40 list, which is, I guess, is a kind of similar to the Granta Young British Writers. At the Key Club is Kyung Suk Shin, who is the Korean author of the Man Asia Literary Prize winning book, Please Look After Mum, or Please Look After Mother, depending whether you're in the US or UK. And that's at the Key Club, 2 to 3:30. Terrible title for a book, but the book is fabulous. Completely different, not at all how you imagine from the title. So that'd be very interesting to see. There's a panel discussion on good sex in fiction, and well, there you go, sex. One of those things you can't live without it. So that's at 4:30 to 6 at the Key Club. And one of the panelists is a good friend of mine who is speaking later that afternoon, Monique Roffey, who is at the Fringe Club, from 6 till 7, talking about it's an event called Please Sit Down, I Have Something Shocking to Say. And Monique and I went to, we wrote our first novels together, and in Lancaster on the MA program there. And Monique is fabulous. She's kind of big, wild, dotty, white Trinidadian, and it's going to be a fabulous event. I think she'll be very entertaining, and it's a very interesting book, I think. Is Yung Chang of Wild Swans fame, and she's at City University of Hong Kong. That's a free event, so two really good reasons to go. It's going to be big name, very famous, big event, should be very interesting. So go along to that at City U. Sunday, I'm moderating an event Sunday morning, which is about prizes in fiction. Now, prizes in many ways can define the literary world at the moment, in a way that, sort of 50 years ago or 100 years ago, the people who bought books define the literary world. So that'll be quite an interesting discussion, I think, and also what prize winning does to writers. I won a prize, and it threw me. It's called the Geoffrey Faber Memorial Prize, and I looked at the list of people who'd won it before, and there's people like Seamus Heaney and all the kind of big names of writing, and it threw me. I thought, well, maybe I should be Seamus Heaney. Maybe I should speak in an Irish accent from now on. Also on Sunday, the 3rd of November, at the Macaulay Studio in the Hong Kong Arts Centre from 4 to 5 o'clock is Rob Lillywall, who is talking about the walk home from Mongolia. Don't know the book, don't know the writer, but Mongolia I just think is one of the more interesting places in Asia. Every time I go there, I want to stay longer. I love the landscape, the history. That's my kind of soft spot for Mongolia. There's also Tales of Hong Kong's Underbelly, and this is pathologist and former South China Morning Post columnist Dr. Feng Chih-shun. His best-selling collection of 15 true tales, Hong Kong Noir. So that'll be very interesting, I think. Hong Kong is a place that lots of foreigners write about, but not so many Hong Kongers write about. Monday, 4th of November, Christian Jungerson is a Danish author who's talking about his debut book. 5th of November, there is a panda lady talking. And on the 6th, All in My Backyard, Explore the Pearl River Delta. And this is Thomas Bird with Hong Kong's publisher Harvey Tomlinson, for a multimedia introduction to some of the hidden gems, from surface beaches to artist villages, Ming Dynasty fortresses to ancestral temples, hiking trails to archipelagos of hidden islands, and much more. So multimedia is always kind of quite refreshing in a literary festival, I think, of just taking the weight off words in a way. Thursday, the 7th, as you've got some tough choices. There's Robert Douglas Fairhurst, who's one of the who's written a biography of Dickens, and he was one of the Man Booker Prize judges a few years ago. Anyway, he's up against Guo Xiaolu, I Am China. Guo Xiaolu was shortlisted for the Orange Prize for Fiction for the Concise Chinese-English Dictionary for Lovers, and she's a very interesting writer. The event's called I Am China, and that's again is quite odd because I think she's been living in London for the last 10 years, and I'm guessing she's British citizenship. Anyway, she's the same as Evie Wilde, been listed as one of the top 20 young British writers under 40. And she's also a filmmaker, and I think she's a real kind of eye. You can certainly see some of her books have a certain kind of filmic quality, something like UFO in Her Eyes. It's almost like a script. So that should be very interesting. I mean, a very interesting kind of thinker and writer. Friday the 8th of November, there are two events. One I'll be at. In fact, it's me doing an author-led book club event at the Fringe Club from 7 till 8, and this is about Drink and Dream Tea House. So this was my first novel about modern China, which has just come back into print this year. So that's going to be fabulous. But if given the choice, and having seen me many times or been with me many times at literary events, I would go to Luke Wright's Essex Lion, which is the Fringe Underground at the Fringe Club from 8:30 to 9:30 on the Friday night. I saw Luke last year in Beijing. He's a young British performance poet. He's kind of, the only way is Essex meets performance poetry. Really great. One of the best events I saw last year in Beijing. Funny, sharp, contemporary, very well delivered, great guy. So I would go and see that. So that's my kind of guide to the first week at the Hong Kong Literary Festival. I'll come back with for the second weekend because there's some really interesting events the second weekend. Anyway, so I hope to see you at some of these places and enjoy the week. It's going to be over in 10 days' time, so catch it while it lasts. Before I forget, the Asia Literary Review, a fabulous collection of writing from across Asia. They've just launched a new blog, so you can check it out on www.asialiteraryreview.com under blog. And I know some of the writers who are coming to the festival are blogging. I'm blogging there, so that should be really interesting. So check it out and stick on your homepage. Anyway, enjoy. We'll see you.